There is something about a new year approaching that makes people want to change their entire identity. And I guess I am one of those people. But it's not like I've been trying to do that the past couple of years, but I think this specific period in my life is a good time to make all the necessary changes that I want. And I've already started to make those changes. Some of the other things have I'm gonna have to wait because they require money, and spending during the year of December, woof. I spending money during the month of December, oof. Um, but there are a lot of changes that I want to make in my life and in myself, and I've already started to make those changes in December. But I really want a lot of things to change in my life. I've kind of dwelled on them in past videos, namely just I guess having more standards when it comes to allowing people in my life of any type of relationship, family, friends, acquaintances, romantic interests, like anybody really, have better standards in terms of the way that I want to be treated and the way that I want people to show up for me, and the way that I want to show up for others as well. And I am working on I'm up at the gym just working on my fitness. And I've always been at the gym, but I have very specific goals in mind. So I think that will the specific intentions that I'm working on will make things a lot more clear. And so I've been working on this goal for a while anyway. So the best resolutions don't start on January 1st, which is, the best, you know, it is the best piece of advice. Not the best, but it's a good piece of advice. You don't have to, if you want to reinvent yourself, just do it. Don't wait for a specific time. It just happens to be that a lot of the things that I want to do, I am doing at the same time. I've got a body scan earlier this week, and it said that I had 26% body fat, which, I don't know how accurate that is, but I guess that makes sense because I've been working on body recomposition for a couple months now, and I'm hoping to get to about 23%. And then I will go on a very small cut. So then when I go on my bulk, I'll have that equilibrium that when I reach 23%. I don't know when I'll actually reach it. I kind of maybe you can't really eyeball body fat, but I think maybe several months in, I'll do another scan, maybe a halfway point of the year, June or something, and I'll see where I am physically. And if I am at 23%, then I'm going to stop. I'll do a month of maintenance, and I'm gonna actually do for maintenance in a while. Maybe in February I'll do some maintenance. A month of maintenance, then then I'll do a midi cut, a couple pounds, and then I'll do a couple pounds of a bulk so I could get pure muscle. And then I can work more on getting that dump truck I've always wanted. But I feel like I'm body recomp. I've lost a lot of body fat this year. That's just one of my goals. Also reading. I have two books that I have one of the books I already started reading. Another book I'll start reading soon. First one, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and the other one is How to Stop Breaking Your Own Heart. I think these are both going to be really helpful books for me, mentally and socially. So that's one area that I'm working on. I have these financial goals that I've been working on for a couple of years, and some big ones. A big one was realized this year, but another huge one will be realized next year. And based on that, if my planning is, if I'm doing well with the planning, then I'll have a really good setup for another huge financial goal in 2026. There's like some aspects of my life I haven't like yet looked at my life planning, my life planner. I created goals for myself at certain periods of my life. One was like 6 months from when I started the planning. Then it was like a year. And then there was one by the time I turned 30. I'm 30 right now. And then at the age of 30. So this year. But I got to see which ones I've had to stop working on and which ones I need to focus on more and which ones are lagging for whatever reason. I kind of have an idea of already what those are because I did do like a June check-in to see where I am with them. And I don't like see it as like these goals, I have to achieve them by this specific time or else this was a waste of time. I kind of see it more as these are these are supposed to be lofty goals. These are things that if there is a perfect reality that I achieve all of them at that time. And I think there's still a world where I could have achieved all of those goals. But for me, it's more like the fact that I wrote them down and that I'm working towards them is more beneficial for me than this, just achieving them. Because even if there is a delay or I had to abandon some goals, they're always for real specific reasons. Like there's one where I wanted to work more on my art, but mentally I was going through a lot of stuff and it's just hard for me to do artwork when I'm in that kind of place. So there's certain goals I couldn't reach. And then certain financial goals that, I am reaching them, but there's some things that I feel like are pretty lofty and some things that are kind of beyond my control. And I know there's there's one that's one section of goals that is all socially related. Like I wanted to improve on my relationships with my family and my friends and all that stuff. And I think I definitely did improve on them, and I had specific goals, especially also for looking for a romantic partner and all that stuff. And some of those goals I realized that I'm just not in a place to do that because I really want to work more on myself and my relationship with myself. And once I have a better and a stronger relationship with myself, then all those other social goals will become more realized. So I've shifted my focus. So I really do think that I am in a good place moving to 2025. It's so funny if I said this I would not said this 3 weeks ago or a month ago. So, which I think is hilarious, but that time changes. And it's just a set of 365 days. But I do think that this new group of 365 days will have a lot of positive growth for me. And I expect the growth to be painful. I think I told this to someone before, that I expected the growth to be painful. And they were like, why? I didn't say growth, but I said I think that 2025 is going to be a very, very painful year for me, but in a positive way. And they said, why? Why do the changes or whatever have to be painful? And I'm just like, well, I don't know, if you go through any major change, there's going to be some sort of pain attached to it, even if the positive like the outcome is positive, even if the outcome alleviates pain just by it occurring. I think the journey is still going to be very painful. And even if it's a painful experience, that doesn't mean that it's negative. It is a necessary change. I am looking at 2025 as some sort of a liminal year. This is going to be like the liminal space of years. And I feel like in a lot of ways that I feel like a lot of the last couple of years were very like liminal spaces for me. The transition into my 30s. I feel like if you're 30, you're not in your 30s, you're 30. But, come next month, I will be in my 30s because I will be 31. But the transition from 20s to 30s, the fully having my brain fully formed and realizing a lot of things about myself, changes in career, jobs, the way I see myself, the relationship I have with my body and with fitness and with food. Just like a lot of things have happened. And it's crazy to think. I think tomorrow or on the 31st, I will do more of like a deep dive into the goals that I set up for myself for this year, and kind of just like realign where I want myself to be and where I see myself going. And I am thinking realistically. And when I think realistically, I'm like, I think that I am going to go through a lot of positive changes next year. That does not, positive changes. Does that mean I'm going to enjoy the year? Does that mean that I'm going to have a lot of fun, or that I think the year's going to be very good? I think the year's going to be very good for me. That's not the same way of saying it's good. I mean, it's like if you're like, if you're like, you don't want to eat Brussels sprouts, but like your guardian says, oh, you have to eat it, it's very good for you. Well, that doesn't mean you like it. So that's where I'm kind of seeing myself in terms of realistically. I mean, I really do hope to have a lot of fun, and that I enjoy 2025 much more than 2024, and that a lot of great things happen, and that just like a lot of these great things happen, right? But first and foremost, I hope a lot of good things happen for me. I don't necessarily know if that means like they're going to be good to me. I don't necessarily know if that means I'm going to have a lot of fun, but I hope like having good things for me happen will pave the way for a lot of fun and a lot of enjoyment. So that's where I am.